In one of your recent books, you describe the peak of human insight. So what is the pinnacle of human insight?
The peak, the pinnacle of human insight is, I could express it in linear words or describe the experience. And for me it is important that it is an experience which everybody knows. It's not something, it is something special, but not something that is for a certain group only. And it doesn't need years of practice, this peak, pinnacle of insight. And I want to ask about your experience, and I describe it, and then you tell me, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Or I reform the concept if you say I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I suppose you know the state which suddenly overwhelms you with beauty, with lucidity, with clarity, although you may not be able to describe it, or you describe it from the outside, but you can't really step inside now and experience it from, or describe it from there. There's something that happens if you see something that is breathtakingly beautiful. You don't find words. Do you know that or don't you?
Yeah. I know that from beautiful pieces of music where I experienced this inner joy when listening.
Yes, this utter inner joy. It's special. It's not something that is joyful.
It's overjoyed, yeah.
It's overjoyed, yeah, right. And it seems that it needs a certain context, like listening to a certain kind of music or reaching the top of a mountain and there is the sun glistening and you know, have you been laboring yourself up the mountain for hours? The reward. And this special state is something we all know, and it's typical of the state that you are taken, your ego seems to be dissolved. It's just pure joy, pure clarity, as we said. And I call this state instant lumen, because it happens instantly, and just the natural light of the lucidity of the mind without content is there and overwhelms you. And to me, and I think when we really look at it strictly, it is a state that everybody experiences. You don't have to practice for years. This might help some people, but if you are just observant enough, and if you do not override this state, then you can ask and describe it and ask everybody, do you know what I'm talking about? And then everybody will come out, oh yes, I had this in this special moment. When I saw the resurrection of my grandfather or whatever.
Or smaller examples of everyday life, simple situations.
Yes.
Like doing the dishes and having a moment of just doing the dishes and being
blissfully taken, thrown blissed out.
Yeah,
actually.
doing the dishes, yes. Or
Doing the dishes, yes.
Yes.
It can happen at any moment, and usually people don't register these moments as something precious, and they don't analyze them afterwards. They seem to appear and disappear.
Like fleeting moments.
Yeah, right.
And we often mistake them for the concrete thing that happened as well.
Like, I've been laboring up the mountain.
Right.
But doing the dishes is not so rich in offering the extraordinary.
Right.
So, and my idea and my work has been to collect millions of statements from literature to demonstrate that this is something precious, but at the same time something everybody knows. I would say everybody, only we are not in this sense, as I said, observant. We don't realize the phenomenological character of these moments.
What's special about your book is that you have lifted the phenomenon out of all worldview systems.
Right. So it's just the phenomenon. And this phenomenon has certain characteristics. And I differentiated about 10 to 12. And could we have a test run?
Yeah. Oh.
So I would describe some of the accompanying feelings or experiences, and you tell me, oh yes, right, or oh no. Let's start with longing. Usually people long for something. They long for their darling, for a special holiday or whatever. And do you know a longing that is very strong but doesn't have anything concrete at the end of the tunnel? Just, I long for something that can't be all.
Yeah, I long for something I cannot even name what I'm longing for.
Yeah.
I know those moments.
You know those moments. And have you, when this, what we are talking about, this sudden insight, when this happens, is that also a moment when this longing, this very specific longing is fulfilled?
Yeah.
And you can't say why. It's just fulfilled. And do you have the feeling that, or is that your experience, that you are not, you can't name it, you can't say what it was. You can't say, oh, it was this blissful ecstasy when I saw my darling's new dress.
Yeah, it resists all descriptions and words. It escapes all descriptions and words.
It escapes, it's beyond language. And why is it beyond language?
I think we find ourselves open up to a state that's beyond language, a state of mind that's beyond language.
Are you very sure?
That's what it phenomenologically feels like, is like.
And what intrigues me, fascinates me, I have worked myself through literature up and down and forward and backward to find quotations which describe these various states. And to me, it's as if these quotations somehow take you by the hand and connect connect you with what this experience is like, and it's a second-hand version. It's not the original experience.
And yet powerful signposts pointing.
Yes,
to
right. Yes, pointing to this, and what is this? This very clear mind, this lucidity, this aboveness everyday life, of everyday thinking, of usual thinking. Is it thinking, this state?
Not in our everyday matter of understanding, no.
No, it's not thinking. We can afterwards, we describe. We try to describe. And this is what was my challenge, to find throughout literature people describing these various states. And I've collected these quotations, and I differentiated these states so that I came up with about 12 categories, which are named according to the main feature. Like when you have this, you are doing the dishes. You're still doing the dishes, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm still doing the dishes.
Still doing the dishes.
Still doing blissfully the dishes.
And suddenly you are doing them blissfully.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment you do them blissfully, all connection with your ego, your self-importance, that is dissipated.
Mm-hmm.
Gone.
There's no like, no dislike, just doing the dishes.
But not doing the dishes in a neutral way. I would even say the dishes are doing themselves, and you're just with them.
Yeah.
So there is exit ego as one of the features. And you don't think about them, the dishes. But you are one with the dishes. Oneness. You are the dishes while doing the dishes.
Yeah, one with the whole situation of being at the sink in the kitchen.
Yes, right. So differentiate between symbolic and intimate recognition. And intimate implies oneness. And exit ego, it's all in this bag.